beautiful afternoon in Chapel Hill. The Tar Heel fans have been lining up outside Carmichael Arena to get in for one of the top rivalries in all of college basketball. From 9 miles away, they meet for the 90th time. It's Duke, Carolina. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Packed house here in Chapel Hill as we get set for a top 15 showdown in the ACC. It's the Duke Blue Devils who are looking to end a 5-game skid on the road as they visit North Carolina, ranked number 12 in the country. These two teams right now both at 4-2 in the league. They are looking up at Notre Dame and Florida State atop the standings. Louisville and Miami are squaring off this evening as well in ACC play. And we welcome you to Chapel Hill. I'm Beth Mullins along with Carolyn Peck. And Carolyn, it is Duke and it is Carolina. And it's a couple of teams hungry for a win to stay in this ACC race.
Well, Duke's going to need to right the ship because on the road they have been atrocious. So they're going to try to come in because remember last year, North Carolina swept the regular season. We're in for a good one today. All right,
one of the things we're going to keep an eye on for Duke, this is the tallest team in Duke history. They have been playing a 2-3 and a 3-2 zone defense to guide them to victory.
Big team is an understatement. They got 7 players that are over 6'3". And so when you're over 6'3", when you've got kind of height and you're playing a zone, what you're trying to do is keep the ball out of the paint. You've got one of the best shot blockers in the ACC in Elizabeth Williams, and so what does that do? Cause teams to have to kick the ball out. And the versatility of this Duke team, they can rotate within the zone. About 4 players in the 5 lineup can play all 5 spots. And then against the 3-2 as well, when you hit that ball down to the corner, you're going to have a trap. Now, remember, you're going to be passing over players that are at least 6 feet tall. It makes it very tough to pass out, and a lot of times that results in some turnovers.
Well, and as a result, too, a lot of times the opponents are coming in looking to set up camp outside that 3-point line and try and take down Duke with 3-point shooting.
I'm talking to the North Carolina players. They're talking about make it rain. They're looking to knock down the 3-point shot. They have 4 players that have hit at least 23s on the season. The Duke Blue Devils in the last 5 games have given up 52 threes. So if the threes are going through the hoop for North Carolina, the Duke Blue Devils could be in some trouble.
Starting lineup for North Carolina, Mavunga is inside at 6'3". They will have a size disadvantage at all 5 spots on the floor, but they will try and counter that with their speed and the chaos they try and create on the floor. And for the Duke Blue Devils, really absent a true point guard. They'll have to try and rely on Johnson and Greenwell to handle the pressure and hope that that big front line of Stevens, Henson, and Williams can do some damage. And Carolyn, here is what we are going to keep an eye on. We talked about that Duke size and Carolina trying to work the pressure and turn them over.
Well, can Duke pound the ball inside and get some mismatches and dominate the points in the paint? Or will it be North Carolina, like you talked about, the lack of a point guard for Duke? Can North Carolina create points off turnovers against Duke?
Well, look at Sylvia Hatchell on that Carolina sideline. They are looking to pack the house tonight at Carmichael Arena. They are in their home whites, the Blue Devils in their road blues. Blue Devils will control the opening tip on an afternoon when Coach Mike Krzyzewski has picked up win number 1,000 for the Duke men. Can the Duke women add to the party and pick up a big road win here today? They go right inside and try and work it to Azurá Stevens. Here's Carolina on the run. Stay with the heels.
Right away, Duke took advantage of the size advantage because remember, North Carolina's playing without Zelina McDaniels. That's the other big post player. That has moved Alicia Gray into the 4 spot. She's really a true guard.
McDaniel is the All-America candidate, the 6'2 junior for North Carolina, who is out right now with a lower right leg injury. She has missed the last 8 games, and They are uncertain about her return, and with her out, there is some room to maneuver inside for Stephanie Mavunga, the 6'3" sophomore out of Indiana.
And that's got to give the sophomore some confidence to score over Elizabeth Williams, who has been noted for her shot blocking ability in the ACC.
Not only do they want to shoot the threes, but they want to get it on that ACC in the paint.
Well, they get the ball in that middle free throw line area, and as long as Mavunga is knocking down that shot, that makes it a little more difficult to get her shot blocked.
We talked about it today in practice. Literally the letters ACC right there in the Tar Heel blue. The pass from Greenwell underneath, knocked out of bounds.
See, this is where Duke should be able to, you run a pick-the-picker screen. I don't know why they don't go inside with Azari Stevens. She's 6'5". You could throw over everybody. There she is.
Working inside, Stevens. She is red hot right now in her last 2 games for the Blue Devils. She's averaging 22 points per game and shooting 64% from the floor.
We talked about the size of the 3-2 zone. You look, you got 6'5" at the top. Back rows and averages 6 feet. North Carolina's still finding a way to score.
Mavunga gets right in there by the ACC again and knocks down a couple. For the Blue Devils, they do expect to get Odera Cheatham back into the lineup, 6'4" sophomore who's been out with a shoulder injury the last 2 games. And of course, they are missing Sierra Calhoun, the second player to transfer out in the last 12 months at Duke. They have not been scoring as much. In fact, their scoring is down about 10 points per game since the Christmas holiday.
I think a lot of teams are playing them zone and they're forced the perimeter shot. Then defensively, they're focusing on taking away Rebecca Greenwell, and that has slowed things down in the scoring category.
This is Greenwell, their top scorer, their top shooter. The redshirt freshman out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Big-time shooter.
But you look, she's got Danielle Butts. Look, North Carolina's going to switch all screens so that she is never left alone.
Williams trying to bury the defender down low, and Mavunga corrals the miss. And then gets held up by Amber Henson.
I thought that whistle was a little late.
Yeah.
And so after the block, Henson comes down, or Mavunga comes down with the rebound. Now immediately, as there's a jump ball, but this is a rivalry game. You don't want this game to get chippy.
Experienced group, Dee Cantner, Carla Fountain, Mark Hardcastle, our officiating crew today. The pull-up from Latifah Coleman in and out. Greenwell with the rebound.
Now, see, Elizabeth Williams, to me, she sprints rim to rim. There's no reason why you don't get an easy 2. She did that time, even though she didn't run the floor hard.
The senior out of Virginia Beach coming in, averaging 14 points, 8 assists per game. Duke missed her in a couple of their losses. She was out for the Texas A&M and Nebraska game, but they are really looking for Williams to come up big in a big game. She has not played well in their other losses when she was on the floor.
Well, that's what I've seen. When they play in games like against Connecticut, against Nebraska, Texas A&M, she's kind of disappeared.
Greenwell follows up her miss. Here is Williams, short corner.
And if she's going to play at the next level in the WNBA, she's got to show up in big games.
Offensive foul called as Butts takes the charge. That'll be the first on Becca Greenwell. And a substitution for Duke. Greenwell will come out, replaced by Mercedes Riggs. Due to the attrition at Duke, they have just 10 players in uniform, including a former walk-on just put on scholarship.
Mercedes Riggs and Kalia Johnson, the 2 players, point guards, but not the true starting point guards. As Danielle Butts finishes there, but what Coach McCauley wanted, what she expected to have was Alexis Jones, and she transferred and went to Baylor.
They graduated that terrific senior class as well. 4 starters gone from a year ago when they were actually bounced in the second round after 4 straight years in the Elite Eight. Another offensive rebound for the Blue Devils, and they'll turn it right back over.
See the size advantage when you've got Amber Henson, Elizabeth Williams, Azuree Stevens. That's all 6'4" plus battling down low.
So far, we've seen Carolina able to attack the top of the zone, able to attack that ACC in the paint and get some decent looks. Mavunga short. Butts had it knocked loose. And Williams was on the end line when she touched it. Just over 4 minutes gone. It's Carolina and Duke. And Sylvia Hatchell, they're 17-3 right now after a 9-0 start to the college basketball season. Then hit some trouble with a very good Oregon State team. Notre Dame right now first place in the league, and a much improved Pittsburgh squad. And now find themselves at 4-2 in the ACC. They're ranked number 12 in the latest AP poll for Sylvia Hatchell in her 40th season of coaching, the last 29 of them here at North Carolina. She is the active wins leader. And in women's college basketball history, only Pat Summitt has more. Coach Hatchell is 48 wins away from 1,000 for her career.
But she's got energy, and she talks about this team gives her energy. She said, really, they keep me young.
Roundtree looking for three, off the mark. They'll try again. No go. That's a good sign for Duke after the Boston College loss, in which the Eagles dropped 13 triples on them. Knocked out of bounds. The Blue Devils will keep. Just a couple of baskets for Duke. They've turned it over 3 times. North Carolina awfully good at that.
Well, Duke's a team that averages about 18 turnovers a game. So if they can take care of the basketball, that'd be a good sign.
They have a negative turnover margin, actually -5 in the ACC. They're averaging about 20 a game. A held ball will stay with the Blue Devils.
You know what I don't understand is Elizabeth Williams at 6'4", why are you going to throw a bounce pass when she's playing against a smaller guard on her? That's where you give her the ball up high.
Williams off the mark, and Duke will maintain possession. 9 players at 6 feet or taller, 7 of the Blue Devils 6'3" or better. And here comes 6'4" Kendall Cooper into the game, the sophomore out of Southern California.
I visited with Coach McCauley last year, and I said, do you have to change your system because you have so much size? Because we're used to seeing Duke press 94 feet and get up and down. When you've got size, you play more in the half court.
Here's Joanne P. McCauley, now in her 8th season at Duke. 23 years overall, 3 times the ACC Coach of the Year, and has 4 consecutive top 2 recruiting classes. From the wing, off the mark from Roundtree.
You know, when you play a zone, you play the odds, you play the percentages. You say, you know, that outside shot is tougher than making it inside, but the key is that you've got to rebound. And Coach P said that the thing that she likes about the zone is that backside, offside rebounding.
After the offensive rebound, another held ball. This one will go to Carolina. Some cold shooting so far. Duke just 2 of 9. The Heels are only 3 of 10.
And now Sylvia Hatchell has put Jessica Washington in the game. In the last 8 games, she's averaged about 11 points a game. Her offense has definitely improved.
Lisa Gray will try for a 3. It's an air ball. They're 0 for 3 from downtown to start. And an offensive foul off the ball on Kendall Cooper.
North Carolina needs to get Latifah Coleman and Alicia Gray going offensively. And Gray said that her shot has not been as on as she'd like it to be, because she said she's leaving it too soon. She said she's got to hold her follow through longer. Will she think about that on her next shot?
Armbar up top on Azuree Stevens, the 6'5" freshman from nearby Raleigh. That's her first. We talk about the size of that zone. Can North Carolina try and counter it with the speed? Right there, a big unable to keep up on the dribble drive.
And that's what North Carolina can do, is put the ball on the bounce, make the defense have to collapse.
Heels continue to struggle shooting the ball, and for Duke, the story has been the turnovers, 4 of them already. The kick out to Greenwell. Nice look on the assist from Johnson. Back to Washington. 0 for 4 now from three-point land. Washington, nice look inside to Mavunga and can't finish. Offensive rebound and a foul.
We talked about Alicia Gray being moved to that 4 spot. I said, how do you like that change? And she said, well, I like in the post position because as a guard, you've got to leave the wing to go rebound. As a post, you're already in the paint.
Shortest distance to get there as Gray makes the first. Well, Big Monday presented by Verizon comes your way with a doubleheader. We'll start out in the ACC tomorrow night. It's Syracuse and North Carolina. The Orange lost at home yesterday. The Heels were winners over at the Dean Dome against Florida State. And then out to the Big 12 and a couple of teams both trying to bounce back from losses. It's Texas and Iowa State. Big Monday coming your way on ESPN, the home court of college hoops. It's got to be our 4th held ball of the first half already. Tied up again, it'll stay with Duke.
We talk so much about the size of Duke. They can't bring the ball down where the little guards of North Carolina are. They're going to come after it every time. I tell you, at practice yesterday,
Greenwell for 2.
Mercedes Briggs, she never closes her mouth.
Constant chatter?
Constant chatter.
A 5'7" junior from Linden, Utah. A junior college transfer, a rarity at Duke. That's just the second in Blue Devil history. Offensive rebound for Washington. They continue to struggle shooting the 3, and that pass to the Duke bench. Second turnover for the Heels.
Well, North Carolina is still at their best when it is an up-tempo transition game. If Duke can continue to make them play in the half court, that plays the momentum or the tempo of the game is advantage Duke.
Williams with the handle out top. Stevens, nice look. Good post passing for Duke as Williams gets the lay-in. She's got 4. Taking advantage of cold shooting Carolina. They have missed their last 10 shots. And a blocking foul will be called on Williams inside.
See, that's when you go into a game and you know that your strategy is to shoot threes, but you can't just say it's a pass to a 3 around the perimeter. You've got to penetrate in and try to make the defense have to shift or reverse the basketball. Make the defense have to move. Got to give you more time on your shots.
That was the first foul, by the way, on Williams as Butts returns to the lineup for North Carolina. Alicia Gray, she's top 10, one of just 2. Erica Hamby over at Wake Forest is the other that is top 10 in scoring and rebounding in the league. Wake Forest on the losing end of their matchup today against Florida State. The Noles put up 110 points to stay tied for first.
See, with the size advantage, if Duke would pull all of their offensive players, the other 4 above the free throw line, the lob in is there all day long.
That foul is going to be on Jamie Cherry, the freshman out of Cove City, North Carolina, who has checked in.
You see the hustle of Mercedes Riggs. She brings that energy in practice, and she was so competitive. If a drill wasn't going as well as Coach McCauley wanted it to, it was Riggs that was speaking up and getting on people to pick things up.
Off the miss, Williams able to keep it alive. The kick out, Greenwell for 3, hard off the back iron. Another offensive rebound and a foul. Duke on the road and on top on the scoreboard, 11-9 Blue Devils. Thanks, Zubin. Wow, what a season continuing for Oregon State. They're going to take over the top spot with a big road win today if they can hold on against the Sun Devils. Scott Ruick is doing an outstanding job. In fact, one of their wins this year is against this North Carolina team here on the road.
They've got the hammer, the shot blocker inside.
Big Ruth Hamblin and the shooter Sidney Weiss outside. A triple for Kalia Johnson. And the Tar Heels turn it over. The story thus far, UNC just 3 of 15 shooting.
Well, they struggled to shoot early against NC State in their last game.
Had a big comeback win. They were down double digits on the road to get the W. Washington, well off the mark. She was looking for a foul as Greenwell jumped out at her.
To watch how the size of Duke causes North Carolina to alter their shots.
Hell ball. Our 5th of the first 9 minutes tonight. Upcoming action for you, Texas A&M at South Carolina. That's the big Monday game tomorrow night at 7 Eastern. The #1 ranked Gamecocks taking on the Aggies.
Talk about a tall team. South Carolina has them 6'4", 6'5", and two of their top 5 scorers come off the bench, and Asia Wilson and Elena Coates.
Get a good look at South Carolina. Remember, they have that #1 versus #2 showdown coming up on February 9th when South Carolina will go to UConn on a big Monday.
I'm looking forward to the matchup of the freshman Asia Wilson going against Brianna Stewart.
Yeah.
They play similar positions as far as having guard-like skills, but they're post bodies that can play away from the basket.
That, by the way, as it stands, will be the last remaining ranked opponent for the Huskies this year as Duke hits on another triple. Carolina with a timeout. They do not have a basket in the last 6 minutes, and Duke has jumped in front. Carolina here in Chapel Hill, and one of the big stories this week in women's hoops will, in the wake of an academic fraud scandal that heavily involved athletes and lasted for nearly 2 decades, a couple of former Tar Heel athletes have filed a lawsuit against the school and against the NCAA, saying that neither is doing enough to ensure athletes receive a quality education. That lawsuit, which was filed on Thursday, names former women's basketball player and ACC Player of the Year Rashonda McCants, as well as former football player Devin Ramsey, as plaintiffs who are also seeking class action status. Now, that lawsuit seeks unspecified damages, as well as the creation of an independent commission to review and report on academic integrity among NCAA member schools. While North Carolina has not commented on the lawsuit, it has enacted various reforms to try and prevent future issues. And on the court right now, the Tar Heels trailing Duke by a touchdown. 10-11 to go here in the first half. Stephanie Mavunga at the free throw line. She's got 6 points.
But in that last series, Mavunga and Alicia Gray battled inside time after time, getting second chance, second and third offensive opportunities. Duke's got to box out, got to be one and done.
That was also the second foul on Azurá Stevens at the other end of the floor. Williams with 6 points now coming in the paint.
We talked about the paint points for Duke, and North Carolina needed to knock down outside shots. So far, they hadn't been able to connect.
Greenwell jumping into the passing lane. It's a 2-on-1 for Duke, and Greenwell has it stripped loose.
The length of Duke, even Rebecca Greenwell as a guard on the perimeter of that zone has made it tough for North Carolina.
A miss inside, another offensive rebound. That one won't go. Mavunga held up. It's our 6th held ball of the half, and this one will stay with Duke.
That might be the top stat of the night. Held
balls. And we're moving on. It's 19-11 Duke right now with 9:26 to go in the first half. Beth Bowens along with Carolyn Peck. You have not stumbled into a conversation about the New England Patriots, ladies and gentlemen. On the inbound, it's not a full reset. It's at 21 seconds, and the violation on the Blue Devils will turn it over. That is the 6th Duke turnover.
North Carolina has got to move the ball. They need to get the ball in that ACC area. Make the defense have to collapse.
Just like that for Gray on the drive, and then a foul on the rebound. Yeah, they haven't had the 3 component yet, but they had some success early getting into that ACC down there on the paint.
And that's where the ball has got to go, because when it gets, especially against a 3-2 zone in that ACC area, that's the soft spot. Defense has to collapse, and then you've got options out on the perimeter.
That is the first foul on Odera Cheatham, who is back for Duke after missing the last 2 games with his shoulder injury, as Alicia Gray will step to the line. Officials clearing up something over at the scorer's table, and we're ready to go. Gray, the sophomore, a 70% free throw shooter. And it's a 1-on-1 situation. It's on that front end. Well, the Pro Bowl is coming to ESPN with Hall of Famers and team captains Chris Carter and Michael Irvin squaring off with their teams. Inside access to the locker room will be available, and wired sound of several players within the game. It's the 2015 Pro Bowl presented by McDonald's. It comes away tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Andrew Luck, Tony Romo were the top 2 draft choices for the Pro Bowl. After good years with the Colts and the Cowboys, the steal and the pull-up by Coleman knocks it down.
See, North Carolina is at their best when they're creating offense off their defense. I'm still waiting for after a score for North Carolina to pick up in the full court.
They finally break the drought. They had missed their last 15 shots prior to that. Williams in traffic scores. She's got 8. She enjoys playing the Tar Heels. Her career high came against North Carolina in a game earlier in her career. And another bump. Little armbar action. That's going to be the 2nd on Cheatham.
Latifah Coleman with the steal. Keeps the pressure on the defense, and good decision to pull up for the short jumper and get the 2. But then Duke comes right back to Elizabeth Williams, still exploiting the size advantage they have over North Carolina.
Substitution for Duke. Aaron Mathias, the 6'4" freshman from Pittsburgh, comes on as Coleman goes to the line, just a 60% free throw shooter. As a team, this is not a good free throw shooting group. But Coleman does get the first.
And North Carolina has gotten to the free throw line 9 times. 9 free throws to Duke's 0.
They are now 8 for 10 in the game. Coleman, deep 3. It would be their first of the afternoon, and she's got it. Greenwell's 3 is blocked, and an opportunity to run for the Heels. Gray on the go, missed it. Mathias able to bother her just enough.
I don't think Alicia Gray's 100%. She had a little bit of a calf injury against Notre Dame, and then today at shoot-around even bothered by a quad.
Certainly didn't elevate.
Carolina staying in this ball game. We said we had to rain 3s. Are they getting warmed up from the perimeter? Latifah Coleman is.
Well, thank you very much, Zubin. That Louisville Miami result will affect the top of the ACC standings. Right now, Notre Dame and Florida State are half a game up. And so the winner of that Louisville-Miami matchup would stay tied for first. North Carolina and Duke here, the winner of this one, would stay within range. Syracuse was a winner today over NC State. Right now, Joanne P. McCauley has to manage some minutes. You've got 3 players with 2 fouls, Stevens, Cooper, and Cheatham. And they're all out right now.
I'm surprised that Duke has not been to the free throw line.
Mavunga with the nice block. They are 0 for, while North Carolina is 8 of 10 from the line, just inside the arc. So far, Carolina has only committed 14 fouls in the first half.
And that's surprising because with Duke trying to get the ball inside, you got to check and see if the Duke players are taking the ball to the basket or if they're just trying to shoot over. And North Carolina is getting a lot of touches, a lot of deflections. See, right there, the deflections.
The takeaway and the layup for Danielle Butts. And it's tied at 21.
So what happens a lot of times when you're the smaller team playing against a team of height, you play with more heart. You play tougher because you got to make up for the lack of size that you have. Danielle Butts so very quick. She still holds the record in the state of North Carolina. High jump, long jump, triple jump.
Outstanding athlete. She's got 4 points. That foul was on Roundtree, her first. 5th team foul. And an offensive foul off the ball on Duke.
Jessica Washington just showing toughness inside, refusing to allow Amber Henson. And see, the foul is called because Henson hooks that arm and holds her. That's going to be called a foul every time.
8th turnover now for Duke as Henson picks up her first, and a chance for the Tar Heels to take the lead. They've trailed by as many as 8 in the first half. And another foul on a Duke big trying to stop the dribble penetration. This one will be on Matthias.
Well, see, a lot of reason that you're playing the zone is because the bigs can't guard one-on-one. So you expect in a zone. Part of the reason that North Carolina is able to get inside is that the Duke players aren't closing out ready to move. You come out tall, they're going around you every time.
And a nice adjustment here for North Carolina, coming in thinking, okay, we're going to have to try from 3-point range. It wasn't working early, so now they're beating them off the bounce and getting to the free throw line. A huge advantage with the freebies from 15.
That's a great point, that if your threes aren't falling, then get yourself to the free throw line. And that's what the road team normally does, but this time it's the home team of North Carolina.
They are 10 of 12 at the line. It is a 12-2 Tar Heel run.
See, I don't know why Duke's not running at some high-low action, getting the isolation down low.
You'd think they'd want to get Williams a touch every time up the floor as Coleman is called for the foul. That's the 6th on the team. So the next one will send Duke to the free throw line.
Now, I don't know if they're going away from Elizabeth Williams because Stephanie Mavunga's on her, but part of your strategy should be to get Mavunga in foul trouble because she's the only true center post player North Carolina has.
There is Williams attacking on the right side for the lay-in, and she's got 10 here in the first half. Butts for Mavunga. 8 now for Stephanie.
Joanne P. McCauley is trying to beg her bench, somebody go inside, go and stop the ball from penetrating inside.
Henson in and out. Williams, offensive rebound. Stick back won't go. And a foul going to be called on Matthias going over the back. And I think that's another big girl now with 2. It is. There's 4 bigs with 2 fouls each for Duke here in the first half.
That's one way to neutralize the size advantage. Get them in foul trouble.
And another walk to the free throw line for North Carolina. They are one of the poorer free throw shooting teams in the league, but not tonight. They're 10 for 12. And look at the Bagels next to Duke at the line so far.
Well, and part of that is Duke is not taking you off the dribble. That's not their strength because of the size they have. It's more on the pass and just turn and shoot. If they miss, it's done.
Johnson comes back in. Matthias goes out.
And Greenwell has got to look for more opportunities of penetration, not just waiting for the catch and shoot.
That is the 6'4" Amber Henson who brought the ball up the floor for Duke. Greenwell gets stripped. Butts again on the run. Scores. Biggest lead of the first half for the Heels. Greenwell using a big Williams screen, couldn't knock it down. A second opportunity, Henson. And now Williams with the catch. Missed against the much smaller defender.
Yeah, see, that's where Williams has got to finish. She's got a little guard on her.
Coleman drifting and scoring. Timeout, Blue Devils.
Carolina has taken over. It's been the guards. It's been the quickness. The athleticism for the Tar Heels has them up by 6.
Thanks, Zubin. 29-23, North Carolina on top of Duke. The Tar Heels on a run, and it's been behind the play of the guards, Carolyn.
Well, they have caused Duke to turn the basketball over, and then the Tar Heels are turning that into points. Latifah Coleman and Danielle Butts picked up the tempo, picked up the tenacity on the defensive end, and it has caused big problems for Duke, especially going right at them in the paint. They said, I don't care how big you are.
Coleman has 10 of the last 16 points for the Tar Heels. She, along with Danielle Butts and Alicia Gray, getting it done outside. Here is Williams with the turnaround and a miss. She is 5 for 11. The rest of the team is 5 for 21 so far. On the run, in transition for 3. Coleman is lighting it up. She's got a dozen.
Look, Carolina gets hot. They're dangerous. Duke has got to answer the call, and I think the easy thing to do is get into a high-low situation. Pull everybody above the free throw line except for Elizabeth Williams, and then let her play Statue of Liberty, going easy to the basket.
Briggs, corner 3, air mails it. Off the ricochet, Carolina able to track it down, and Dia Bryant, after missing 15 straight and suffering through a 6-minute drought, the Tar Heels have hit 7 of their last 9 shots, and now they turn it over. We are on a 9-0 run right now. Williams trying to end it. The kick out.
But Riggs, she read the scouting report. Get the ball to Elizabeth Williams.
There she is, knocking down 2. She's got 12.
Well, you had pointed out before that shot, she was 5 for 10. She's shooting 50%. Give her the ball.
Novunga looking for 3. That won't go. Rebounded by Henson. Novunga's only got 2 of those triples all year long. That may not have been the shot that Sylvia Hatcher was looking for.
Well, you can't start clock watching and say, well, I've got a lead, so I'm going to start taking chances. That's what would let Duke right back into this ball game. Washington leaves it off for Gray. The trail for 2.
And Amber Henson never even made it down the floor. Williams with space turns and scores.
That's where Duke's got to go every time. Keep the pressure on the North Carolina defense. Duke's got to play a gap defense. They've got to stop allowing the ball to penetrate in the paint.
Swatted by one of the top shot blockers in the country. Williams sends it back. Now she's running the floor. They had a chance to get it to her. They'll look for Johnson for three. That's off base. And Greenwell gives it away. Coleman with the blow by and the pull-up. Mavunga, good hustle to keep it alive. 8th rebound for her. And Gray walk.
But Coleman's making it happen. She is pushing and keeping the pressure on the defense. She's penetrating and getting to that second layer of making the defense have to shift and creating shooting opportunities for the players around her.
1:09 to go in the half, and the Tar Heels would bring some full court pressure.
I like this freshman, Jamie Cherry. She's got energy, and this is a player that's instant offense as well for North Carolina.
Cherry was able to knock it loose, but Duke still has it. Greenwell to the rim, missed it. Offensive board, and Williams is fouled.
It's just under a minute.
First free throws.
Before the first free throws of Duke.
And it's Williams to the line. They average 15 makes per game at the line. This is their first look of the night. And she's got it. We got a big NBA doubleheader for you coming your way on Wednesday. It's NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. The Atlanta Hawks, #1 right now in the Eastern Conference. They'll take on the Brooklyn Nets. Then the Wizards, who are #2 in the Eastern Conference. They're in the midst of a tough stretch out west on the road as they visit Phoenix. It's Wednesday night on ESPN. 40 seconds to go in the half, and the pull-up is good from Cherry.
Wondered if North Carolina was going to go 2 for 1. They score quick, so now if they can get a stop here, the shot clock runs out, they give themselves another opportunity on the offensive end before the half.
And Cherry's going to be called for the foul. It is a problematic situation right now for Johnson, trying to bring the ball up the court. This will be a 1-on-1 for Johnson. Chance for the Tar Heels.
Now they can hold for the last shot. Jamie Taylor, a freshman, but she ain't afraid to score. Offense is the name of her game.
She's got it working on Riggs, calling for the screen. She'll go the other way for 3, air ball. Offensive rebound, a foul with 0.7 of a second to go. And free throws coming for the Tar Heels. And that'll be the second foul on Greenwell. This is Hillary Fuller at the line. 50% free throw shooter, knocks down the first.
She wanted to shoot it before you let that percentage out.
Yeah.
Avoid the announcer's curse.
I already got half of it. Okay, I got my 50%. This is a freebie if she can get it. Percentage goes up. Biggest lead of the ball game for either side. It's a 10-point gap for the Tar Heels. And That is how things will stand as we go to the locker rooms. They were down by as many as 8, but using the advantage at the line. The aggressor in the first half, and they get rewarded for it. 12 of 16 from the stripe. Time for the Land Rover halftime report. Here's Zubin and Rebecca. ESPN Carmichael Arena in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They trailed by 8 in the first half, but a big swing to close it out, and the Tar Heels are now up 10 over the Duke Blue Devils, trying to hand Duke its 6th consecutive loss on the road. Beth Mowens along with Carolyn Peck, and Carolyn, despite the big size advantage, they are utilizing that speed and quickness advantage to get to the rim and to the free throw line.
North Carolina ain't scared. They've gone straight at the size of Duke. They have gotten 24 of their 38 points either from attacking in the paint or from getting themselves to the free throw line. They've been able to pick up points off transition, and especially turning the ball over, turning the Duke Blue Devils over and converting those turnovers into points. Up tempo, that plays to the advantage of the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Meanwhile, for the Duke Blue Devils, the hot zone is more of a cold zone. They want to see a lot of red in the paint, and right now it's all blue. They've really only got that one spot out on the right wing where they've shot the ball well. Elizabeth Williams has 15 points. The rest of the team so far shooting just 20% from the floor.
What North Carolina has done is they have stayed between the Duke players and the basket, so they're at least, they may not be as tall, but they're making Duke have to shoot the ball out facing up, not just leading to the easy layup.
Latifah Coleman with 13 points, the leading scorer for North Carolina in that first half, out there with Roundtree, Gray, Butts, and Mavunga in the white jerseys. Williams is now at the top of that 3-2 zone. They attack it, they get it to the baseline, and they score it. It's Williams, Greenwell, Henson, along with Azare Stevens, was limited minutes in the first half with a couple of fouls, and Kalia Johnson out on the perimeter. Offensive rebound. Let's see if they can get Stevens going. She only played those 9 minutes. She went 1 for 6 in a cold first half.
Well, Stevens has ended up on with Latifah Coleman guarding her. Stevens has about a foot advantage on Coleman. So you got to be able to go to her, and she has to be able to finish for Duke.
The freshman has been terrific the last couple of games, over 20 points against Miami and Boston College. Williams in the paint, so they're trying to get that hot zone in the middle going.
And right now, it should be Williams and Stevens for Duke, who should be able to take shots. If they don't finish, they should end up at the free throw line.
And the foul is going to be called on Stevens, and that is her 3rd. Holding up Mavunga down low.
5 players for Duke had 2 fouls each in the first half.
And Stevens will quickly have to depart.
Now, Kendall Cooper, who came in, she is a very physical post player. That may be just exactly what Duke needs inside.
Rebecca Greenwell struggled in that first half. She was just 2 for 10. She turned it over 4 times. Heels would like to get her going as well, get an outside presence. She'll take it to the rim and 1. Good start for Duke.
I said in the first half, Rebecca Greenwell has got to do more than be the catch and shoot on the perimeter. She's got to create and be able to do things off the bounce like that. That way she's going to get 2 and even potentially the 3-point play from the free throw line.
Becca, the redshirt freshman, is 91% from the stripe, and she's got that 3-point play. And the 10-point deficit already down to 5 here in the first minute and a half. Mavunga, the kick out. They go inside and out. No go. Butts, offensive rebound. Another one, despite the size advantage, and a foul.
See, Duke thinks because they have the size advantage that the rebound is a given. You still got to put a body on somebody and box out. You cannot allow North Carolina 2nd and 3rd chances on the offensive glass.
That's the 2nd foul on Henson. Mavunga to the line.
Well, you watch Danielle Butts. You can't stop her. She is relentless on the glass.
Mavunga gets one of two. Switch on the high ball screen. Johnson able to get by Roundtree and gets fouled by Mavunga. That's two quick ones on Stephanie.
You can see already Duke is getting opportunities at the free throw line that they didn't in the first half. It wasn't until under the minute mark before Duke got their first free throw attempt.
Duke 2 of 4 in the game. Johnson, the senior from Chester, Virginia, one of two players in the league that has a triple-double on the season. That came early against Old Dominion. 18 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. Louisville's Bria Smith has the other one. Louisville playing Miami tonight. The winner maintains a share of first place in the league with Notre Dame and Florida State. The loser of this matchup will fall 2 games behind in the losers column, loss column. Deep 3-ball, Coleman airs it.
So that's way deep.
Williams, nice dish from Johnson. She's got 19 now for Williams.
See, those long 3 balls that you miss turns into points, except for when Alicia Gray shooting the basketball. North Carolina needs Gray to get going. She's been their leading scorer and offensively so far, very quiet night.
She had a little quad issue today at shoot-around, coming off a double-double in their road win Thursday at NC State, as Greenwell will head back to the line.
Elizabeth Williams inside with the finish. And then outside, Alicia Gray rotating in transition, in rhythm. She said she needed to stay with her shot. She felt like she was pulling out of it too soon in order to get in a rhythm.
That was the 3rd foul, by the way, on Danielle Butts, as Greenwell hits on the free throw. One of our need-to-know players this year is Elizabeth Williams, the senior center. 19 points tonight on 9 of 15 shooting.
A lot of WNBA scouts talk about that she can be one of the top 5 draft picks. And I think she's going to have to prove herself and showing up big in big games, and especially against other tall post players.
Tar Heels tried to run with it. They turn it over instead. Yeah, Williams is the 3-time ACC Defensive Player of the Year. When you talk about coming up big in the big games, in the 4 losses that she has played in, averaging just 10 points and shooting just 28%. So this is big for her to be scoring here tonight. Well, for more on your need-to-know players, log on to espnw.com/need-to-know. As we get closer and closer to the postseason and the trip to Tampa for the Final Four.
See, with Nadia Bryant on her, she's got to finish right there. You can't fall away. You've got to prove that you've got the power and the strength to finish even through contact.
Gray looking for another 3. Greenwell's got it. Williams with a step down on the baseline. 21 now for Elizabeth. Duke within 2. They've been down by as many as 10 as Gray drills one from the corner. She is starting to look more from downtown here in the second half. 13 for her.
Well, the inside-out pass for North Carolina. Get the ball to the inside, defense collapse, then the pass out for the open 3.
Williams lost the handle. Coleman driving through traffic, stops, turns, and can't hit it.
See, I want Elizabeth Williams to go down and post up. She's watching. She's ball watching right now.
Dangerous pass. Greenwell will try and clean it up. And she does. She now has 11. Coleman for three. May have been better served to try and swing it around the other side for Gray again.
I was thinking the same thing. Nobody really knew where Gray was.
Williams fouled on the drive. Duke, nice comeback early in this second half. They're down 3 on the road to the Tar Heels.
Mets Hawks at 8.
Well, double tonight for Elizabeth Williams, leading the comeback for Duke.
Well, Elizabeth Williams has been the go-to inside. She's got to finish with contact. If the Blue Devils expect to pull off the win on the road, she's got to be the anchor down low inside.
21 points, 3 rebounds. That double-double, my bad, belongs to Rebecca Greenwell with 11 points and 11 boards. But Williams trying to get her team back in it. They've trailed by as many as 10. We're down 10 going into the locker room. Duke lost both regular season matchups to the Tar Heels last year and then came back and beat them in the ACC tournament. Duke made it to the final and lost to Notre Dame.
Now, I went to practice yesterday, and I talked to Rebecca Greenwell and Azure Stevens. I said, what's going to be the outcome tomorrow? And Greenwell said, Duke's going to win. I said, can I quote you on that? She said, yes. And then she went, I think so.
Well, you got to like her response, though. She really struggled in that first half, was 2 for 10 with 4 turnovers, but is coming up so far here in the second. Washington off the side of the glass. The pull-up, Stevens, who is playing right now with 3 fouls, has come back into the game.
And North Carolina has to get back to what they were doing in the first half. On the dribble, going off the bounce, making Duke have to guard them, moving instead of just passing around the perimeter.
Kick ball. We'll reset it back to 15 on the shot clock. Big Monday tomorrow night comes your way from Columbia, South Carolina. The undefeated Gamecocks taking on Texas A&M on Big Monday tomorrow night.
Let me tell you, the best player I don't think enough people know about is Tiffany Mitchell.
Mavunga with the assist from Cherry. Mitchell, one of those players for South Carolina.
She's a reigning SEC Player of the Year from last year.
A&M will counter with the Courtneys, Walker and Williams leading Gary Blair's side. And South Carolina stay undefeated as they roll closer towards a trip to UConn on February 9th on a Big Monday.
A lot of people think it's a foregone conclusion that because they're playing in Connecticut and how Connecticut is playing, that Connecticut's going to win. I think it's going to be closer than people think, and I even give South Carolina a shot because of the wave of post players and talent that Dawn Staley has
done an outstanding job hitting the recruiting trail the last few years, including the previously mentioned Asia Wilson, the top prep player in the country last year. And now the Blue Devils are looking for their first lead since they were ahead 21-19. It's been a while.
They got to get Williams down on the block. Williams has just got to get on the block and demand the basketball.
She out of control, and Amber Henson is down on the deck and hurt.
It's a good sign. You know, Amber Henson has had 6 surgeries since she showed up as a Duke Blue Devil.
Knee surgeries, yeah. She will walk gingerly to the side. Got her feet tangled up and then landed hard on her knee. They were already giving Kalia Johnson some attention on the side as Henson will head back towards the locker room trying to work it out right now. Bavunga, they go inside out to Gray, and they find the three-point shooter. She's got 16. Williams with a touch. Another miss. She's missed about 3 of those inside from point-blank range. Weak side, Greenwell with a rebound, and then it has it taken right away. Right now, the Heels stronger with the ball, playing tougher. And a timeout called by Duke. .54-48 Tar Heels here in the second half.
How can one...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Back here in Chapel Hill, 12-17 to go, and Carolina with the lead. Let's go inside the play, Carolyn.
One of the things that North Carolina is doing so well is patience on the zone. You'll watch when the ball moves to the wing, you're pulling that top of the 3-2 out. Once she comes out, you can let it go. Let the ball go inside. When the ball goes inside, that freezes Elizabeth Williams on the back row. And who does that leave open but Alicia Gray? That's how you get inside out versus the zone.
Gray with a big second half. She's hit 3 of her 4 three-point attempts. She's got 11 points after the Blue Devils had gotten to within 1. There's a little high-low action. 6 points now for Stevens.
See, all day long, if Duke can get 2 post players in the paint high-low, give it to the one high, and you're going to have the easy dump to the one that's down low.
Bavunga wide open, missed it.
But North Carolina's getting the ball in that soft spot on the ACC.
Stevens trying to post up, offensive foul. That is her 4th with 11.5 minutes to go.
Duke trying to battle, but size does matter. Alicia Gray battled to get position, but drew the foul. Good for the Tar Heels.
That is big for Iowa State. Still keeps them in striking distance of Baylor and Oklahoma and Texas after that tough injury. Now that's their 4th league loss.
Well, Texas having to battle without Nneka and Polly, who went out with that knee injury. That's rough.
After Texas had made so much noise early in the year, Gray 3 of 5 from downtown now in the second half.
North Carolina still feeding the hot hand, though. I keep going to Alicia Gray.
Duke, meanwhile, they want to keep going inside to Elizabeth Williams with 23 points. The foul is on India Bryant, her 3rd.
Give it to Elizabeth Williams. Look, Elizabeth Williams is telling her, I'm right there. If you just drop me a little bounce pass, I can pay it off.
They'll take the timeout. And 11:06 to go. The Tar Heels on top. They weren't shooting it well from outside early, but Alicia Gray has changed that here in the second half.
Well, she's getting her 3-point shot to fall, and she is being more patient, staying within that follow-through. She said she needed to hold it longer, and it's working for her in the second half. 3 of 5 from the 3-point line.
Good performance by Alicia Gray, the sophomore out of Georgia. Had not been shooting it as well from beyond the arc so far this year as compared to last season, but doing a better job of it here today. In the top 10 in the conference in both scoring and rebounding in this, her 50th consecutive start. 18 on the night.
Well, she's adjusted to having to play inside that post position with Zelina McDaniel being out. That's hard work.
Floater is good. 9 points for Johnson. pride coming into play now for Duke. How much heart will they show? They've lost 5 in a row on the road, including to unranked Boston College in their last outing. Step back, no good. Williams, weak side, trying to tip it to herself. The 6 losses for Duke before February, that's their most since 1998. A loss today, a 7th loss before February, would be the most for them in 22 years, going back to Gail Gestencourt's very first season.
Losing on the road, that's really been the struggles for Duke this year.
Held ball will go to Duke in this 90th meeting between these two schools. North Carolina just beat NC State in the longest played rivalry in the league. The 100th meeting on Thursday. They came from behind to do it.
And it was Danielle Butts who led the Tar Heels in scoring for the first time in her career. Look at her run down the basketball. Butts on the hustle.
Boy, and that's got to be Kalia Johnson over in the corner yelling to her teammates saying, hey, watch out behind you.
Danielle Butts came full speed with the back tip of Elizabeth Williams, and then she collides with Stephanie Mavunga, her own teammate. Yeah, that had to be painful. I think they went noggin to noggin on that one.
Butts will stay in the game, trying to shake it off. Coleman on the crossover, the kick out to Roundtree. Gray with a look from deep. Has missed a couple in a row. Chance for Duke to tie it or take the lead. Johnson drops it off for Williams. First tie of the game since it was 23-all. And Duke has erased a 10-point deficit.
North Carolina needs to get the ball in that ACC area, right there. Make the defense have to collapse or either get the bucket.
Mavunga with the miss and a chance for the lead. Greenwell goes off the bounce. And a foul on the weak side. Cooper getting into the back of Mavunga. That's going to be the 3rd on Kendall Cooper.
See, I think Duke can simplify things. The high-low would be so easy with the size advantage. Put Williams down low. Put O'Dara Cheatham up high. You got shooters on both sides with Henson on one side and Greenwell on the other. Just work the high-low action.
Gray is checked out of the lineup for the Tar Heels. They are just 6 of 21 in the second half. And they've hit just 2 of their last 9 attempts. The size a problem, and it's taken away for Duke. Pass down low and the lay-in. Blue Devils on top by 2. Mavunga down to the low block, got underneath for the lay-in. She's got 13.
But now will Duke go back to the high-low? You can either put Williams or Cheatham or Hanson at the top or bottom, but if you isolate high-low, you don't need Elizabeth Williams out on the baseline.
And it's tipped away by Coleman. Heels with numbers and a foul on the drive to the rim.
We got a tight ball game, and it's been on the shoulders of Elizabeth Williams for the Duke Blue Devils. The high-low pass, smart look, good finish. But Carolina stays in the attack mode. Going down low inside. Stephanie Mavunga hanging up. Tie ball game.
Checking out the ladies. Sellout crowd here at Carmichael Arena.
So impressive with this crowd. Well, you know, we're up in the crow's nest, but we have a whole section, a student section at half court. And then up in the end zone was full of students as well. North Carolina student body gets it.
And it's not just the free t-shirts. They know they got an exciting matchup, one of the great rivalries in college basketball, Duke and Carolina. The Tar Heels with the edge, 49-40 overall. But Duke has won 8 of the last 10 matchups.
North Carolina swept the regular season last year, and then, like you said, Duke won when it really counted in the ACC tournament.
Tar Heels in advance to the Elite Eight. Duke was out early, a surprise loss at home. First weekend of the tournament. And a foul on the drive will be called on Johnson.
See, Duke's making it tough on themselves. Feeding the post from the wing, you're putting the defense in the position to bring help side. If you put the ball at the top in the middle of the floor, it's tough to help.
One thing that Duke has done better in the second half, they have kept the Tar Heels off the free throw line. Just 2 free throw attempts after North Carolina had 16 of them in the first half.
Well, North Carolina has gone away from their penetrating attack. It's been more with the pass.
Mavunga will kick it out for 3, no good. Other than Alicia Gray, the 3-ball has not worked effectively for the Heels, who were up 10 at the intermission. They're just 5 for 21 from 3-point range, and Gray has 3 of them. She is not in the game right now.
Don't see her on the bench. She must be at the table from our angle. She's got to be getting ready to check back in.
She had a little issue with her quad today at shoot-around, and there she is getting ready to return. 6.5 to go. Heels hustle. They get the turnover, and now they've got the numbers.
Mavunga's by herself down low. Yeah. See, so North Carolina's going back to how they started the first half, just settling for threes instead of penetrate in, either get the layup, make the defense collapse. You'll have plenty of time for those threes.
Here they come the other way off the turnover. Washington, the transition 3 won't fall, and then she will commit the foul. Sometimes a transition 3 is a good shot, and sometimes when you're Carolina and you've got the speed and you've got the numbers, take it to the rim. Well, a reminder that the biggest game of the year has finally arrived, and Sports Center is live from Arizona all week long with our analysts and anchors preparing you for football's crowning moment. Sports Center live from Phoenix on ESPN.
You go with the Patriots or the Seahawks?
I think I'm going to go with the Patriots in this one.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Oh, all right. All right. So long as Deflategate isn't an issue this week, I think the Pats are going to be fired up. Offensive rebound for Williams, and another opportunity for Duke to take the lead. They get it back to Elizabeth. Diving to the basket, and she's called for the offensive foul. And she is in disbelief. Let's see if we agree with her.
I don't think so. I don't think Alicia Gray was there.
Nope.
She's still moving. And moving after Elizabeth Williams had already left the floor.
Gray is back in the game. She is the only Tar Heel that has made a 3 in the second half. The rest of them are 0 for 12. 2:10 on the shot clock. Coleman in trouble, tough shot. Good defensive stand there by Duke to get it back.
See, now North Carolina's not doing a good job of making the Duke zone match up and move. And Sylvia Hatchell told me earlier today, even going back to the same side, when you pass the ball up off the baseline, you can go right back to it because the defense is shifting.
Williams wants a touch. She'll get one.
She got to go to work.
Gives it up.
I want her to show me something down low, a power game, want the ball, be the winner and the go-to.
There she is, and one. Her strongest finish of the day.
I need to see Elizabeth Williams want the basketball, finish through contact. And that's a great finish against Stephanie Mavunga and the Duke faithfuls. They love it.
Some of the crazies have made the trip. Williams now with 27, a point shy of her career high. And a chance to tie it right here with the free throw. Ties her career high against the Tar Heels, and now she's got Duke back up by 3.
Last 5 games, Duke has given up 52 threes.
Good block inside by Cheatham.
Now will Duke go to its strength, size, inside.
Williams fouled again by Mavunga. That's her 4th. Ninth team foul. So the 1-and-1 coming up for Elizabeth Williams, who is a sub 60% free throw shooter. She's 4 for 5, however, today, and this free throw would give her a new career high of 29. Not yet.
Part of the Duke strategy was to go at Stephanie Mavunga, get her in foul trouble, because really you only have Hillary Fuller to play inside that has any kind of size close to Mavunga.
Bryant with the fadeaway to get within 1. We're under 4 to go here in Chapel Hill. Duke has lost 5 consecutive road games, trying to snap it against their rivals. Williams, aggressive inside, and another chance for a 3-point play.
The Duke Blue Devils needed #1 to show up big competitor, and a winner. She's showing up huge for the Blue Devils inside so far tonight.
Don't settle for
this season. Guys, back to you. There it is, 897.
Yeah, 60-point-plus win today. Congratulations, Coach K, 1K, and now Gino 3 wins away from 900. You can see him on ESPN3 on Wednesday against East Carolina.
I don't think it's going to take him very long to get to 900.
Maybe just 3 more. Duke 62 to 58, a career high. Elizabeth Williams with 31, the first 30-point performance of the Joanne P. McCauley era. The last player to crack 30 was Mo Curry back in the 2006 season at Duke. She happened to put up 43 that day against Miami. And Duke has needed all of those points today. Down 10 at intermission. The second half comeback, and now we approach 3 minutes to go.
Feed the beast. You have got to get the ball inside again to Elizabeth Williams.
Williams going to work on Mavunga, who's got 4 fouls, can't knock it down. Gray, who's had the hot hand in the second half.
Graves, when she catches the ball, oh, that's a double dribble. But Alicia Gray, when she catches, she grimaced, and I don't think she's 100%. I don't know if she's having some pain in that leg, but she doesn't look real comfortable out there.
Duke trying to end a 5-game road losing streak. They are trying to avoid a 7th loss before the month of February for the first time in 22 years. And maybe just as important for them, they're trying to beat Carolina. Pull up, wing, no, as Williams does not get a paint touch. Back to Gray, wide open 3.
Gray is disappointed, frustrated. She showed frustration when that shot didn't go down.
Under 2 minutes to go. Williams. This is Cheatham inside. Wild scoop shot. Williams is there weak side. Brought the ball down. Hasn't held up. Will stay with Duke.
Duke running an offense they call triangle with all 3 bigs, with a cross screen downstream action, but that allows room for the defense to help. Pull everybody up above the free throw line and just go high-low. It's real simple.
Timeout called by North Carolina, trying to solve the Elizabeth Williams riddle, a career high for her this afternoon.
See, when she's isolated one-on-one, she's tough to stop. You got to give her the basketball in the position to attack and clear, get out of the way, move. Give number 1, Elizabeth Williams, room to go to work.
Most points scored by a Duke player since Mo Curry in 2006. And Williams trying to guide the Blue Devils to a win. Carolina with just 2 points in the last 6 minutes. Duke has held them off the free throw line. In this second half, Carolina has been ice cold from beyond the arc. Just 5 of 24.
See, what North Carolina can do against that zone especially is move the ball and get it to the baseline. You've got bigs on those baselines, and when a big has to come out and defend the guard, put the ball on the deck and drive it. It gives you an opportunity to get to the free throw line.
1:40 to go. Duke with the ball. Shot clock with just 6 seconds on it right now. Tipped on the inbounds, taken away by Mavunga. Roundtree redirected. Ooh, dangerous pass.
See, if the ball goes to Alicia Gray right now, she has Elizabeth Williams on her. She can take her off the bounce.
Roundtree for 3. Won't go. Kept alive inside. Bryant with the step back. Cheatham has it blocked. Tar Heel ball. A 2 to tie, a 3 for the lead. With under a minute to play. And they are going to check to take a closer look at who knocked the ball out of bounds.
Well, first of all, I think it looked like a foul. Oh, that's close. But it looks like Roundtree may have touched it.
Cheatham certainly didn't think she touched it last. Please go take a look at that, she's thinking. The call on the court was North Carolina basketball. And whose fingertips touched it last? It will go to the Tar Heels. Will stay that way. Their longest road losing streak since 1994. Can they snap it here at Carmichael? Need a stop. Coleman behind the Mavunga screen, the pick, the roll. Mavunga fouled. And 2 free throws coming to tie it up with 37 seconds left.
The good news is that Mavunga is going to the free throw line. The not so good news is that she is a 58% free throw shooter. But she's 3 of 4 on the night.
Timeout called by Duke. They want Stephanie to think about this second one. This is big for both these teams. The loser has a 3rd loss in conference play and would be 2 games behind all those teams up at the top. Notre Dame and Florida State already have a win in the bag this weekend, and Louisville up on Miami in the second half to try and keep pace in that top spot. Duke with 1 timeout left. Carolina has 3. And the arrow is with the Tar Heels. North Carolina is already in the double bonus. Duke is shooting the 1-and-1. So with about 38 seconds left on the game clock for Duke, you're still thinking to get a shot up. And is there any doubt who they want to touch the ball here when it comes down to the other end, whether it's tied or they're up 1?
You go to Williams regardless. You go to Williams. Now, Sylvia Hatchell has to talk to North Carolina, her team, about she makes this free throw. Now, you want to keep your player in front of you. You don't want to get a blow-by and give an easy layup. Keep in front and be ready to rotate. And got to know, Duke has to be looking to put the ball in the paint and probably looking for number 1, Elizabeth Williams.
She's got a career-high 31 points tonight. But the big one here for Mavunga to tie it. Got it. Full court pressure. They get it across midcourt to beat the 10-second violation, and a timeout called by Duke. That is their last, with 27 seconds to play and 20 on the shot clock. And an injured player for North Carolina at midcourt, Andia Bryant. Appeared to have hurt her leg. Let's see if she just maybe cramped up there. Number 22 defending on the ball. And after the whistle, and now starts limping right there, and Bryant will check out. Johnson set to inbound.
Duke's got to be going to Elizabeth Williams. Good defense by Latifah Coleman to keep the ball out of the hands of Kalia Johnson.
Williams has to play point guard. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Way up top, Johnson will try for 3. No good. And it goes out of bounds to Carolina with 8 seconds to play. Timeout, Tar Heels. Outstanding defense by Latifah Coleman that didn't allow Williams to set up inside. She had to hold on to the ball.
You want to bust the play because Latifah Coleman knew that Kalia Johnson is the point guard. She has to run the offense. When you bust the play, now Duke has to freelance. Elizabeth Williams is not sure what to do, and what that does is that takes Duke out of their rhythm, and Kalia Johnson has to force up a shot.
They had not tried a three all game long, or all of the second half, and now the officials looking to make sure that it stays in Carolina possession, or will it go back to Duke right here? You can go to the monitor to check on an out-of-bounds play to make sure you get possession right, or at least take a closer look at it. And that certainly appeared to go off of that Duke player right there, diving for the loose ball. That was Elizabeth Williams. If it stays Carolina, you like anybody in particular to get the shot here?
Latifah Coleman going all the way to the rack. With her speed and quickness, going at the bigs of Duke. I tell her, you get the ball in 8 seconds. You drive the length of the basketball court, go all the way to the rack, and everybody else rebound the heck out of the ball.
Got to be smart with it, too, because Duke is big, and they've got shot blockers waiting for her if she over-penetrates. Carolina does have timeouts remaining if they need them, if they do have possession right here. And it will be Carolina. With the ball and an opportunity to win it here in the final 8 seconds.
Duke's not pressuring the basketball. I think Duke needs to pressure, at least take some ticks off the clock. You don't want to give Coleman a running start.
Sylvia Hatchell gets a look at the Duke defense, and she will burn a timeout. They still have 2 left. Terrific finish here at Carmichael Arena. Oh, by the way, if you haven't marked it down on your calendar already, February 9th is the date. South Carolina, #1. UConn, #2. Set to tussle up in Stores. Will the Gamecocks be undefeated? Will UConn just have the 1 loss when they meet up?
What is a big advantage is not just Brianna Stewart, but Morgan Tuck has made her presence felt inside, on the boards, rebounding, scoring. And so the matchup, you know, will Elena Coates be able to come in off the bench and have an impact for South Carolina?
I think Mariah Jefferson is having an outstanding year as well at the point for Gino's club. So here we go, North Carolina tied at 62 with Duke, 8 seconds to go. Coleman will go to the rim. Coleman rejected by Williams. Held ball, and it's going to overtime. She took it into the land of the Giants, and Williams sent it right back.
I thought Sylvia Hatchell would call on the number of Latifah Coleman with her quickness and ability to penetrate in. She just didn't remember the height and size of the Duke Blue Devils, and Elizabeth Williams just spikes it and puts it back, and this game goes to overtime.
She had Mavunga, too, right there in the lane to drop it off to, and it's Williams coming over to swat it away. And it is overtime here in Chapel Hill, tied at 62. The Tar Heels and the Blue Devils. Had a 10-point lead at the half. Duke outscored them by 10 in the second half. It's a career-high night for Elizabeth Williams with 31 points, and she also has the game-saving block at the end of regulation.
But she was the go-to for the Blue Devils, down low and in the paint. She acted like she wanted the basketball, and then she went to work with the finish. The Duke Blue Devils have to believe that that's where they need to go to in this overtime if they expect to pull off a win on the road here in Chapel Hill.
Her primary defender, Stephanie Mavunga, will be playing with 4 fouls. Azure Stevens has 4 for Duke. And India Bryant, who we saw have a cramp issue at the end of regulation, she has 4 fouls if she can return to the game for North Carolina.
Mavunga not jumping, but Danielle Butts in the middle with Azuré Stevens.
First overtime of the season for Duke. It's the second for the Tar Heels. They beat Rutgers in double overtime on December 4th. Mavunga will sag off of Stevens. Elizabeth will attack, runs into the double. Taken away by Gray. Numbers for the Heels on the run. Cannot convert.
Duke needs Elizabeth Williams catching the basketball on the block, not at the free throw line. I'd put Azuré Stevens. She's got a face-up game, so if the ball goes there, and see, Stevens sees it. Now, Williams should be the one going to work down low on the block.
There she is with the catch, goes to her left and scores. Just like Carolyn Peck drew it up.
Hey, this game is not complicated.
Not when you're 6'4" and skilled like that.
Oh, and the way she's been playing tonight, you've got to give her the basketball.
Back into the 3-2-D. Coleman leaves it off for Mavunga. 15-footer is short. All blue jerseys around it.
See the triangle. Stevens needs to be up at the free throw line area.
On the drive, Johnson, the jump stop, no. Williams offensive rebound. Greenwell for three. First triple since the first half for the Blue Devils. Timely shot from Greenwell with a double-double tonight.
Knocking down the three, secured a 5-point lead so far in Chapel Hill.
Here are the keys, man. It's all mine.
Parenthood isn't gonna change me. I'll still see the guys every weekend and rock out in the basement. Please.
Hey, where are you?
I'm still king of this castle.
Lots of good features. You're gonna love the back seat pocket.
It's not like I'm gonna get a minivan.
Life can surprise you. So can an Allstate agent. Now they can save you $3,000 on a new car with the Allstate car buying service. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
America, last year, we did not get you your billion back. We got you your billions back. So many billions, we started thinking, this isn't tax season, this is refund season. And nobody gets more of your money back than Block. Guaranteed. Get your billions back, America!
Kraft barbecue sauce has a whole new recipe, inspired by the old way of making things, starting with simple ingredients like red ripe tomatoes, sweet molasses, and now with cane sugar, all slow simmered. So go ahead, make pulled pork, wings, ribs, amazing. Things are changing at Kraft. Get inspired at kraftrecipes.com.
Duke on top in overtime, and we are seeing the entire skill set of Elizabeth Williams just in the last few minutes.
Well, to send this ball game into overtime with the block, the spike, and then the beginning of overtime, calling and demanding the basketball and the finish through contact. And she's not finished. Offensive rebound. Give Elizabeth Williams the assist for three from Rebecca Greenwell.
9 boards to go along with that career-high 33 points, 3 assists as well. The highest scoring game for a Blue Devil in the Joanne P. McCauley era. Mavunga drops it off inside, and a foul will send Butts to the line. Danielle disappointed she's not going for 3. That'll be the third on Cheatham. Butts just 54% on the season. She's 0 for 2 so far tonight.
See, I think North Carolina needs to put the pressure on now. Full court press, just man-to-man, but they can force, with their quickness, force some turnovers instead of now allowing Duke to come down and execute in the half court.
Missed them both. Williams now with that goal has the double-double.
Stevens traveled.
Yep.
She drugged that foot.
Break there for the Blue Devils. 10 on the shot clock. On the drive, offensive foul. The charge will be called on Johnson.
Now, Kalia Johnson doesn't need to do too much. You've got Elizabeth Williams down low. You've got to recognize the defense is there. She had the quick kick out to the right. Azurá Stevens wide open.
Bryant now back in the game for the Blue Devils. The pull-up three for Sherry without even a pass. And with barely seconds off the shot clock.
She's a scorer, but the freshman's got to understand that's not a good shot.
Williams. Diving to the rim, won't go. The tip, no good. Third chance from Cheatham, got it.
Duke's really missed Cheatham.
Out with a shoulder injury the last 2 games, returning tonight.
North Carolina's taking too long. They got to get buckets.
And the turnover. Johnson on the run, getting out in front of the pack and fouled hard on the drive.
I knew this could have a bad ending with the speed that Kalia Johnson was running with, and Alicia Gray chasing her down. She runs into that backstop.
Couple of free throws coming for Johnson. 7 unanswered points in the overtime here for Duke, make it 8. Johnson is the 3rd Duke player with a double-double. She gets her 10th point.
The size. Duke stayed with the size, and that has paid to their advantage.
Bryant for 2. She's got it. Quick timeout, North Carolina. They'll have 1 left with 1:46 to play. Big for both of these teams to stay close in the ACC. The winner will be just a game out of first. Louisville now, that's gone final. They've got a win over Miami tonight. So it's DeVille, Florida State, and the Fighting Irish atop the ACC.
I think this game would be huge for Duke, especially on the road. These two teams meet again the 1st of March.
Over at Cameron.
So to be able for Duke to take one on the road and then have the comforts of playing at home. North Carolina's got to bring the full court pressure. Look to try to turn Duke over.
Trying to bring that road losing streak to an end that dates back to the 93-94 season. Williams backing in on November. Stephanie comes out with it and a pass to Gray on the outlet. Gray takes it all the way for the win.
O'Dara Cheatham's got to recognize when Elizabeth Williams gets the basketball, get out of there.
Greenwell misses from the left side. Williams does not get a touch. 4 on on two. Tar Heels. Gray for three, and it's off the mark. And a big miss.
Elizabeth Williams needs to get down on the block.
Johnson. Stevens. Second chance. Good. Still a two-possession game. Bryant. Coleman, now Gray. And a reach-in foul to stop the clock here with 29 seconds to go. And not a smart one for Duke.
Well, North Carolina needs to go to the free throw line and knock these down. But Duke, when they have possession, the clock's on their side. They don't need to rush a shot. They can be very patient and get a shot that they want. Let ticks come off the clock.
Coleman's 3 for 4, double bonus here.
North Carolina's got Danielle Butts in. It's going to be a full court pressure. They've got to gamble and go for the steal. If not, they're going to have to foul.
And that might just be Elizabeth Williams, who is the worst free throw shooter on the floor right now for Duke. But first, the Heels have another opportunity. Gray's three won't go. And the foul committed on Johnson. 20 seconds to play. You know, sometimes you get caught up in the moment. Didn't really necessarily need the three right there, but when you get the ball back quick like that.
Well, if it were anybody but Alicia Gray, because she has shot the ball well from the three.
And Johnson trying to add to the lead. Mavunga returns.
See, now there's enough time to penetrate in, but you got to space out Alicia Gray.
Yeah, now it's up to 7.
Yeah.
3 possessions, barring a catastrophic foul on a three-point shot. Williams may have gotten a piece of that one. 11 seconds to go. The Blue Devils getting closer to a big win on the road against North Carolina.
They get a huge monkey off their back after losing 5 consecutive road games.
Sylvia Hatchell will call the timeout, and that's the last one for North Carolina. For the Duke Blue Devils, you can see them, by the way, a couple more times. They'll be on Big Monday on February 2nd against Louisville, and then again February 16th at Notre Dame. Next up for Duke, they'll head home to face Pittsburgh. Now there you see those 2 ESPN2 games will be Big Monday games for you with Louisville and Notre Dame. For North Carolina, they've got a home game against Boston College, then they'll hit the road at Syracuse and Virginia Tech coming up.
The Boston College scouting note, defend the three. Put 13 up against Duke.
A career-high scoring tonight for Elizabeth Williams. A huge play, the block at the end of regulation. And she is a big reason why the Blue Devils will snap that 5-game road losing streak and get the road win here in Chapel Hill. Tar Heels won't foul, and that'll do it. Duke wins the overtime 12-5, and they win the first matchup of the year with the Tar Heels 74-67. And a career night for Elizabeth Williams with 33 points to lead the way. Coming up, it's SEC Gymnastics, Kentucky and Georgia. Thanks for joining us here in Chapel Hill.